Hello, and welcome to Rock Your Block, where we highlight individuals who are making an impact in our community. I'm your host, Larry Laws. On today's segment of First Home Alliance, we honor Black History Month and highlight a very special guest. She's an African-American entrepreneur. She's multi-talented and a remarkable professional. She's doing incredible work in our community. Recently, she partnered with First Home Alliance to add physical fitness with financial fitness training. She starts our week off live on First Home Alliance Facebook page with a yoga routine Monday morning at 7:15 a.m. She is motivational, inspirational, and she inspires us to indulge in positive vibes that she keeps continuously spreading. She is really an amazing person, and I'm proud to have her here today to share with us how she's rocking the block. Please welcome to our show the fascinating Tadasana with TIPPI.
Hello.
TIPPI, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Great. TIPPI, I want you to, relax and really, and thank you. And let me know a little bit about you.
So I am TIPPI. Tadasana is my yoga name. I chose that name because, if you think about the foundations and the fundamentals of yoga, it's all about the science of the mind. Mm-hmm. And Tadasana, for me personally, meant just how I stand, how I root my feet in the ground, and how I move about just on an hourly, daily, monthly, weekly basis. Mm-hmm. So Tadasana stuck with me, and every morning that I put my feet on the floor when I get out of the bed, it is really about how I ground my footing into the earth. And so I'm just so inspired by first of all, being able to get up and plant my feet on the ground, and then really dig into the earth and really be grateful for myself.
Yes. And so tell me a little bit about how did you end up being here in Northern Virginia?
So I am an Oklahoman, and really it was just exploring and wanting to see big cities and be in a big city. And so after college, I met up with some friends who actually had moved to DC, Virginia area, and I've been here for about 25, 30 years.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. And so during I understand you do some different ventures, and so what are some of the other things you do?
So I'm a business development consultant. Mm-hmm. I do real estate.
Okay.
I am a mom. The list goes on, and I'm a yoga instructor as well. So.
Okay. What drove you to real estate?
Oh, in my business development field, I work with amazing people, and I've been able to kind of move around the city, the DMV area, looking at the homes, just everything about what the area has to offer. And I just love shopping. I love landscaping. I love all of that styling.
Yes.
And so what better way? I'm a natural seller. Mm-hmm. So sales is something that I do naturally. So I had challenged myself to open up and really sell a higher price point, so real estate made sense to me.
Yes, I'm quite sure in real estate, where they stage the homes and things like that, you have a pretty good eye for those things, right?
Yes. And even showing homes and viewing, it's like, here's this beautiful home, here we go. So it's great. Yeah.
Yes. And so, we talk about the home buying process, and in reference to getting, ready for mortgage or meeting a realtor and things like that, meeting a loan officer. Then we said a realtor is the person to take you shopping.
Yes.
Yes, so that's a great thing. Now, how did you transition from, you're not necessarily transitioning because you still work in real estate.
Yes.
But how do that compare to yoga, and how do you work both of those things?
Well, they kind of go hand in hand because yoga is really the foundation of any and everything that I do personally. So yoga is a lifestyle. Okay. It is just being able to just feel and oh my gosh, I'm about to play that.
Yeah, so it's more than just. I know when I first spoke with you a few months ago in reference to yoga, I was talking about physical fitness and all this other stuff. Is it really different from just lifting dumbbells and getting buffed up?
Yes. So part of me going into yoga was that I knew I needed to move my body. Mm-hmm. I knew it wasn't running. I grew up playing basketball, so I'm a natural athlete, and part of playing basketball, I just didn't like running. I didn't really want to sweat a lot, especially after I got over 40. So I knew I needed to exercise, and I felt like yoga was the easiest way to slide into that fitness piece.
Okay.
In my first yoga class, it felt like I was taking a nap. So I
Really?
was sold. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, yeah. And so yoga, I've seen many different forms of yoga. I really don't understand it, you know. I'm trying to, you started talking about these, getting your mind involved and things like that. And so this Tadasana, right?
Tadasana, yes.
Tadasana. Tell me about that. I mean, how is that? What is that?
Okay.
What is it?
Okay, so Tadasana, to break it down, Tada is just the stance, and Asana is the pose. So to put it in, it's a Sanskrit name, and to put it into the English term, it's the mountain pose. So it is how your feet are on the ground and how all four corners of your feet are plastered into the ground. And then from there, you just go up, your ankles, your knees, your thighs, your hamstrings, your hips. So the alignment from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head.
Okay. And so you have Tadasana with TIPPI.
Yes.
Okay. And you actually have a mission. I mean, the mission, you spoke here about the health and wellness of it. Talk to us a little bit about the mission of that.
So my mission, especially as I am aging, is to really just simplify the yoga process. You can do yoga in the bed, you can do yoga in the car. So I am really simplifying what health and wellness is, because I think a lot of people think that you have to go buy these amazing outfits, you have to wear all these things, you have to get all of these props to be able to go and do yoga or even exercise. And really it's all about just being able to sit still and quiet your mind for 30 seconds or an hour or 15 minutes, whatever you decide that time frame should be.
And I do like the ideal of you actually having an activity there and you have a mission. But you also mentioned about a goal in reference to, creating space. How do you reach that point?
So it's something simple as just moving your neck from side to side, especially if you have neck issues. So for me, I was in a really bad car accident when I was 15, and when you age, it comes back to haunt you if you don't get the proper alignment. And so something as simple as moving your neck from side to side, if you haven't done that, it's creating space. So for me, I would hear a pop in my neck, and that pop means that you're moving energy around and you're creating space.
Well, that's great. Yes. And so, I mean, do I need to do this all day? Is this like I need an hour or two, or how often do you do yoga?
So me personally, I do yoga for every day for about 10 minutes. And then I have private sessions. I have other things that I do. So I may extend it along farther out than that. But for the most part, it could be a 2-minute, it could be a 5-minute, it could be a 10-minute, it could be a 30-minute. And I think it's whatever works best for you and your lifestyle. So I know with the pandemic, most of us are sitting at home, working from home. You could do yoga at your desk while you're typing, while you're you can stand up for a second and just move around, do some stretching, move your neck from side to side, wiggle your fingers. This is yoga.
Why don't you show us? I mean, you mentioned about the reducing stress. So what could we do actually during the day to reduce a little stress that maybe it wouldn't take very long?
So for me, I talk a lot. So because I have a lot of energy in my throat, what I do is I just bring my ear to my shoulder, and then I'll lift my chin up. So I'm deliberate about the movement, making sure that my spine is straight, making sure that as I'm pulling my shoulders away from my ears, and then I'm just looking up. So this is an amazing stretch where you're creating space, moving energy around, and you're being still.
Yes. Okay. And I know we're going to have to take a break, but before we get on that break, you talk about an open heart. You got to let me know, what do that mean to open your heart?
Well, so yoga is all about you. It is not a competition. It is not about, oh, are my poses better than your poses, or even are my poses better than the instructor's poses. So when I talk about an open heart, you have to be able to come with removing anything, any blockage, any debilitating thoughts of I can't, I won't, I don't, I'm not, I don't want to do this, and it's shifting that to I am still, I am. Just simple, I am.
Well, that's great. That is great. And so we're going to take a break here, and also we're going to have a little break, and then we're going to show a little video, and then I want you to explain to us a little bit about what's going on in that video.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. And so we're going to take a short break, but before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you're a first-time home buyer or a homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, please visit the U.S. Department of Urban Development website to find a HUD-approved agency in your area. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
With First Home Alliance. A little bit about First Home Alliance. We are a HUD-approved housing counseling agency that was established in 2002 by our Executive Director, Larry Law. He established the nonprofit. He established it because his mother purchased her first home at the age of 65. And everyone was like, how did you do that? Because her income was really low. And so that's how he found out about the USDA program. And so through the USDA program, his mother was able to purchase her first home. It intrigued him to see how he could help individuals basically experience the American dream of homeownership. So he established the nonprofit. Mission is to increase home ownership to low to moderate income families. And so what does First Home Alliance do?
Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block. I'm your host, Larry Laws of First Home Alliance. If you're just now tuning in, you're joined today with Tadasana with TIPPI. TIPPI, I'm going to get that right here sooner or later.
You are.
If you keep telling me, saying it over and over, I'll get it. Okay. They just saw a little video there, a little clip of you. Please share with us what's going on in that video.
So social media has this amazing, well, my platform on social media, I have this amazing way of just showing my sequences, my yoga sequences. And what you saw was really a condensed version of one of my 10-minute flows that I do. So that's it. It's just that simple. I love it. So
yes. And so it sounds like that is the yoga is something that you can actually do every day? I mean, do you need a break? Or can you really do it 7 days a week?
You can really do it 7 days a week, because remember, it's not about actually the yoga, it's about how you're moving your body day to day. If you're brushing your teeth, you could be brushing your teeth and being intentional about where your spine is in alignment to your hips and your ankles. So it's just really simple.
Okay, and I know you mentioned to us about the opening of the heart, and I didn't know I understand if that's something that you concentrate on first, or also you speak of the seating, and I understand there's cross, and it's sort of difficult for me.
Right.
Talk to us about some options we have on the cross-legged.
Okay, so you say cross-legged because that is something that is difficult for you to do, which naturally is difficult for a lot of people, especially if you're experiencing tightness in your hips or your lower back. Props. So what I like to tell people is your practice is all about you, and especially these times when we're doing it at home, grab your pillows. Easy seated is all about how you can sit easily. So what does that look like? You may have a prop under your ankles to help support your ankles. You may have a prop or a blanket where you're sitting on the blanket and it's tilting your pelvic bone forward to release that pressure off of your lower back. You may need additional support on your knees as you're sitting, so you just grab 2 pillows, couch pillows, the back of the couch, whatever you need to help you get comfortable. So we have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, right?
Okay. Yes, nothing wrong with that. And so what are some of the things that you can do in that position?
The easy seated?
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you can do. You can twist. I've been talking about twists lately, and twisting is easy, just a shift of the body, twisting from side to side where you're removing toxins in your midsection. So in your organs. And doing yoga is helpful with blood circulation, with digestion, with all of those things that help with our internal organs, as well as, again, our mind and our body and our tissues, our muscles, everything.
Yes. Okay. And I also seen some of those exercises, I guess, poses that you do, you actually get off the mat.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the things that you can do once you're no longer seated?
So, well, when I'm no longer seated, if I'm standing and even in the car, I'm doing yoga. And sometimes you can.
I see you bouncing a lot to the music. Is that a yoga move?
It is actually. But you can do, it's when I'm off the mat, there's, in the bed, if you're sitting on the couch or laying in the bed, you can definitely move your body around just to move that energy around in the circulation around in your body. So it's just twisting. It could be a simple neck roll. It could be where you're swinging your hands over your head. It could be where you're folding forward. It's whatever works.
Okay. And is there maybe some balancing that's involved in that as well?
It depends on if you're standing, if you're doing inversion. So an inversion is like a headstand or a back bend, so yes, there are balancing poses as well. And it depends on what you want to focus on.
Okay. And I do see that a lot of it is done in silent. But can you actually is there sometimes music that's involved in doing that?
Yes. So there's all different styles of yoga. There's a vinyasa flow, and you saw on the video earlier that you can pretty much dance to yoga. You can do music, and yoga is so broad that I have done a hip hop yoga class. I've done, vinyasa flows in vinyl. So we've played records. Or you can slow it down where there is normally quiet music. There's things, it's just whatever your style is and wherever you are. And again, remember, your yoga practice is all about you and where you are.
Okay, yes. And so what are some of the things that you have done in reference to different groups that have maybe asked for different types of events?
So I've done a feminine energy yoga. I do kids yoga, so I help with young women, ages 8 to 12. I've done yoga for athletes, young athletes and older athletes. There's so much of a range, and my range is all about whoever wants to meet me at the mat, whether it's 3 minutes, whether it's 30 seconds, whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Just meet me on the mat.
Yeah, and I also heard you, and I didn't see one of your routines there, you also have chair yoga. Give me some ideas on what that, and that probably could help someone that maybe are chair bound, can they actually do yoga in a chair and they're bound to a chair?
Yes, so yes, you can do yoga in the chair. I also do wall yoga. I have done bed yoga.
I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so chair yoga is just movement, and it's really good so that if you're working, like I said earlier, if you're working from home, which most of us are nowadays, you can just really move your body in the chair.
Yes. Now, this is an area that I think that you're always talking about, those positive vibes.
Oh, yes.
And so talk to us about that.
So Positive Vibes started because you control how you show up in the world, right? And so your energy and what you set out on a daily basis depends on how you show up for yourself first thing in the morning. So those vibes that you set for yourself is pretty much how you go about in the world and how people pick it up or put it down. And so I know for me, my personality is really very strong. And so I've had to center myself and make sure that the energy that I emit is always in alignment with who I am to my core, and that's to have positivity.
Yes. And how can that play into having this positive vibe and allowing you to thrive and do better at some of the other things that you do?
Oh, so having positive vibes, what I've noticed for myself is I've been able to be open to good and bad things, and even situations that normally I would come in probably with a preconceived notion, I'm able to kind of be open to something different. So if my energy is in a positive light, even when things around me may not feel positive, it's all about how I am moving about and how I am receiving that energy. And if my energy is great and steady and balanced through my yoga, then I can kind of matrix and move around that energy that doesn't serve me.
Oh, that's great. And I really appreciate what you're doing with First Home Alliance, and that's one of the nonprofits. And there's other nonprofits that you could offer, a partnership and do those things too. And so tell us a little bit, what are you doing on Monday morning with a financial educational series?
Well, I love it because I think being able to stretch and being able to open your mind and being able to correlate physical fitness to financial fitness, that's the key. You have to have an open heart, and even when things may not go as what you think is, and you could have that mindset of I'm never going to buy a house.
Right.
That is not in alignment with the yoga principles. So you are going to buy a house. It may take you a moment, but as long as you're open and receptive to whatever that is, and thankfully I'm able to start off the week by making sure that people are tuned into themselves, tuning into your mindset, tuning into where your body is and where you are at the beginning of the week will open you up to new experiences. Whatever the universe has to offer for you that week, that moment, that day, it shifts. It definitely does.
Well, that's great. We really appreciate the work that you're doing, the service that you're providing to the community. Why don't you share with our audience how they can follow you and find out more information about what you're doing?
So you can follow me, TIPPI with Tadasana on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Tapanya, and I do my Facebook Lives Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can friend me and I'll pull you in and you can follow me and do the movements with me every morning. And I am on my email. So email me at tippi30@gmail.com.
All right. And you're going to be 30 forever. Right. Well,
Yes.
Tippy, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing the information
thank you
here.
for having me, Larry.
Yes. And hope I'll see you around. I'll see you on Monday
Oh,
morning.
yes, you will.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I hope you enjoyed this interview and time spent with the amazing Tadasana with Tippy. It's been an honor to recognize her accomplishments while we celebrate Black History Month. For more information about Tippy, follow her on social media or email her directly. Now it's time to check our inbox and see how we can help you rock your block. This is where we share a recent question sent to us from you, our viewing audience, about financial stability and housing. Today's question comes from Woodbridge, Virginia. Running from my landlord. I can't pay my rent. What should I do? Well, running from my landlord, stop running. If you are a Virginia resident struggling to pay rent, ask your landlord to visit the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development website and apply for the Virginia Rent Relief Program. Virginia Housing is now administering relief for renters experiencing financial difficulties due to COVID-19 pandemic. Landlords can apply through Virginia Housing on behalf of their tenants to receive funds to pay delinquent rental payments dating as far back as April the 1st, 2020. And forward. Now that's what I call relief. In closing, I'm Larry Laws of First Home Alliance, and it's been my pleasure sharing with you our mission and highlighting people in our community that are making an impact. If you have questions about financial fitness or how we can help make your dream of homeownership a success, email your question to our inbox, help@firsthomealliance.org. Then tune in to our next show to see if your question was selected to be shared with our audience. You can easily get more information about our services by visiting our website and follow us on Facebook. Thank you for watching today's segment of First Home Alliance, and join us next time to rock your block.
Glad to know that, some of this stuff about credit and buying houses is written down somewhere. A lot of the times it's always hearsay, like other friends or family members who have bought houses before, but they can never, tell you legit what you need to get done and do before buying a house.
I definitely think this class should be required for all first home buyers because a lot of times the real estate agent doesn't explain the process to you. So I think this is very important.
It's from the credit up to receiving a loan, and the most important thing is the process that you go through when you're buying the house, and there are a lot of process which you don't have idea about that before you take this class.
Speakers who came up and spoke about each section, they were very knowledgeable in their field, and I felt like it was relatable. They didn't just throw out a whole bunch of terms that went over my head, but they really explained it in a way to where I understood it, and I could even explain it to my children, and it was even easier for me to take home and kind of remember and process and apply to my next steps. The process was amazing.
They start first with the class before even finding a lender or agent. So I did all that and I wasn't able to purchase, and then I was like, you know what, there's a lot of information I'm not aware of. Let me just start from the beginning, to put everything on hold. Start from
Piecing the information together, because you've heard things about the loans and about this and about the credit, but this is like a summary, and it just gives a clear flow of where to go with what you have and kind of building up a plan. So that kind of gives me a whole picture of where I needed to go and how to get there.